Welcome all to the second guide on Savage Lands. In the previous guide, I explained to you how the UI system works within this game and how you are damaged and so on. In this video, of course, I will describe to you and tell you how to survive within this game when you spawn, well, basically naked. All you got is your axe, your little baggie, your starting food, and some flint. And where do you go from there? Who the hell knows? But let me give you some hints and advice on what you can do to improve your survival rate. First, when you open up your inventory to equip any item, you would have to right click on it, or you could of course drag it. It's up to your preference. What would you like to do? I prefer right clicking the item. This way it goes straight into my hand or into my inventory tab, whichever one is open, as you could see, by just simply right clicking. When you first open the book by clicking K, you would notice that your inventory does not look like mine in the first video. Please note, because I spent many hours and I have discovered all sorts of materials. In the beginning, you will have ability to craft a crude hatchet and a dim torch, a basic bandage, and a torch, and you would not be able to cook anything. For you to be able to cook anything, you first need to acquire that meat, meaning you need to kill the boar, the deer, or the wolf, and then you'll be able to cook it. But to cook the meat, it first requires for you to have a campfire. But that aside, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's jump to something much simpler that you need to do to survive. By approaching different things and breaking them, you could either obtain timber or, well, basically sticks. For example, hitting these little plants can generate you a wooden stick, which you can click E and loot it. Breaking things that are slightly bigger than that would generate you, also aside from sticks, would generate you one wooden log, as you could see right there, with of course one wooden stick. Also, please note that along the shoreline and throughout the whole map, things respawn quite frequently, including the gear. So you might come across an axe or a hatchet or something that you already might have picked up from that area before and might be wondering, why is it there? It's there because items within this game respawn. One way to look at it, they either wash up on the shore or, well, basically birds drop it from the sky. Just saying, it's a purely respawn system. Also, please note, like in other survival games, of course when you come up to the wood and start chopping at it, you can actually chop down a tree. The entire environment is choppable, well, anything that you see. And once you have a full tree that's been fallen down, few more hits, and you could now split it into, well, logs. You pick up those logs, and you know, if it drops a stick, and then you could move on. Now, let's talk about axes and, well, hammers and different weapons and how you could, well, harvest and gather materials. Please note that when you hit anything that gathers you materials or attack something, you will lose durability on your weapon and your hammer. The only time you lose durability on your armor is when you take damage directly, and so on. You do not lose durability if you just run around in it, even though right now there is a bug that is going to be fixed and probably will already have been fixed by the time you watch this video, is the fact that when you run around, your durability on your boots goes down, but now that is also been fixed. Now please note that the difference between axes is how many chops it would take you to take down this tree, for example. Now, if you take a look right here into the crafting, I have several types of axes. I have a stone axe, I have a worn axe, I have a worn metal axe, and a metal axe. Please note that the items do not look different at all between crude, worn, and regular, aside from once they go to the metal or next stage and so on. For example, right here I have a worn axe and a crude axe. Two axes. Also same, I have a worn hammer and a crude hammer. As you could see, these X's do not look any way different. All they do is they have slightly more durability and they just slightly do more damage. That is it. As you could see, this one does 8. This one does 10. It all applies the same to the other equipment. If the stone X does, for example, 10 damage, worn stone X or crude stone X would do 8. There we go. Now, you're also probably wondering, what about the ore? That is where it matters which hammer you use quite drastically. If you're gonna use a regular hammer, it would take you a lot more hits to obtain ore, and the chances that you're gonna obtain anything but stone or flint is very, very low. So what you need to do is get yourself a better hammer. I strongly recommend using the heavy stone hammer because that is currently what is available. You could try to use stronger hammers, for example, flesh bound hammer, but currently there are no bears in the game, and I personally was not able to find any bear claws for me to craft it. Now, let's take a quick look at cooking. When you kill an animal, for example a wolf, a deer, or a boar, you can acquire from them meat, if of course they drop it. Once they drop the meat, you need to click J, then of course navigate to your crafting, and over here you will discover Campfire. Once you place the campfire down, like over here, you can now see what would require to build that campfire. I need 3 logs, 2 flint, 6 stone, so which I happen to have on me. Then you would click E and it would slowly build the campfire for you. Once the campfire is done, it also functions as a forge. Please note that there are other forges on the map that do not function like the campfire. So once you're by the campfire, you click K, you navigate yourself to the food section, you click on your meat, and you click craft, and it would automatically, as you could see, craft it into your meat. Please note, once your campfire dies out, you can and will be able to relight it. From my understanding, as this video is being made, the patch is being implemented in several days that would allow you to relight your campfire rather than constantly building another one over and over again to be able to cook your meat or to, well, forge your items. Then to forging items, I'm talking about armor wise that require, for example, being near a forge. Also, please note that torches are an amazing source of light, though they provide very little amount of warmth. I've noticed that at night the warmth goes down still, but goes down much slower. Torches do burn out. There's currently no way that I was found that able to relight it, but there's an interesting trick. If you have a torch in your hand that is lit and then you drag it on the floor and drop it, that torch will now stay forever well lit on that floor, and it's not gonna go anywhere. Even if you pick it up and drop it back down, it's still going to stay lit. And as you could see, it looks really nice, you know, if you pile things up and make them into warehouses. And of course, one last thing to mention that is quite very important in the survival in the savage lands is the fact to build these little, well, effigies. I don't even know how to call them. If you will look in, click J and look under the first page, you will see Pike of Resurrection. Every time you die, you will now spawn where you've last clicked on the Pike of Resurrection. As you could see, I have here 2 of them. If I would walk up to one and click E and it becomes to glow, that is the one that I will spawn by when I die. These currently, as of now, do not have limited charges, meaning that you can just put one near your house and die repeatedly. And well, you know what, as you can see, for demonstration's sake, I will let this wolf kill me right now. So you will be able to see that even though this wolf kills me, come on, Wolfie, get me, yeah, kick my ass. Whoops. Then you, of course, you would need to wait several seconds. You would know the wolf is walking away. He's thinking, you know, you're a badass, but you're like, hey, what? I'm a mob just like you. You click respawn, you grab your hatchet, and you run at the wolf. And you know, and you just screwed the whole wolf's day up. You know, he was like, you know, I was gonna get you, and now you're the dead one. So, just quickly to recap in regards to the hammers before I finish this video, is that you need to find yourself or make yourself a much better hammer than a crude hammer if you will decide to go after medium or high quality ore. The better the hammer, the less hits it will take you to mine that particular ore, and it will take more chance that you will more likely get medium, high quality or low quality ore. So try to get yourself a better hammer. Thank you all for watching my guide on Savage Lands. I hope you found it helpful and informative. Please click on the next guide video or any of these other crazy little icons that I got over here. Just click one of them. Also, don't forget to check me out on twitch.tv where I stream live all the time. Also, don't forget to check out the Steam group community where I give away free games live on Twitch streams. During my streams and during special events within my community, I will hand out free games. You could check out, of course, previous live transactions and previous live streams on twitch.tv/gamesglitches, and you will, of course, see that this is no bullshit. Thank you all again, and be safe in a world of Savage Lands.